All right, chat. Saturday night main event is over, as we call SNME. There you go, to shorten it up. Even though it's probably better for me to say Saturday night's main event because I'm not gonna remember SNME. Oh wait, I just did. Anyways, this is my review of it. I have some hot takes on it. My overall for if you just want my quick review, it's bad because this goes back to my problem, dude. Like I can't talk about it enough about the problem with women's wrestling and the fact that Jade Cargill was in the ring for 30 seconds and got the pin. That's it. It was 11-minute match. Granted, 11 minutes is a long time. Not really though. And then next up you have Becky Lynch versus Soruka. Another women's match. Guess how long that was? It was only 3 minutes long. Okay. And we're gonna talk about the fact that a lot of these matches, the men got so much railing time to the point where the man's, God, why did I have an accent there? To the where the man's main event went over time, because we are always told that this is 2 hours long, just 2 hours, that's it, done and deal. But it went over 2 hours, the main event. Uh, so I guess there was time then if we, well, not really, but like maybe they did go over, maybe we don't know. I don't know. But all I can say is the women got screwed here tonight. That's all I can say. Like I said, the first matchup was the women's six-way tag match. It's weird because everyone wanted and expected this to be Fatal Influence, but instead it was Michin, BFAP, and what you call it, Jade Cargill. And I would like to say someone here did stand out, even though it wasn't that much. And no, it wasn't Charlotte Flair. It wasn't one of the big ones like Rhea or Alexa, or not even Jade. Jade was there for 30 seconds. How could you stand out? Unless you make your 30 seconds count. Okay. But Michin, oh my god, she carried this match. Michin is so underrated as a performer. She right before WrestleMania when they're doing Michin 1 week and then BFAB 1 week and then J Cart and then Michin and BFAB versus Rhea and Io. Michin was cooking with Rhea. Like I wouldn't have mind a quick little PLE match between Michin and Rhea Ripley, like a Saturday Night's Main Event like this one. I was hoping we get like something like that because Michin is super underrated with her in-ring work, and Michin, phenomenal worker. Like Michin can actually deliver some good matches if you give her time and you give her a proper opponent. She delivers. She really does. Then we had Becky Lynch versus Sol Ruka. And I don't know why, but people online have been like really showing and highlighting the fact that when Soruka walks out there, she looks nervous and scared. And I'm just like, of course she is. Like this is her first month in the main roster. Like if you were told to go out there in front of thousands of people, if you were out there with WWE, you'd be nervous as hell too. So I don't understand this concept of wrestling fans always having to point out negatives with people. I never understood it. Especially, the only person I really loved was when Javon Neves just went out there during Saturday Night's Main Event saying something like, I'm nervous, I'm nervous, I'm nervous. Know what I'm saying? And it was a 30-minute match. Like, there's not much you can do with it. These two are two very incredible performers. But instead, we're given 3 minutes of it. Granted, they did say later on in the night that they're gonna have a match at Clash in Italy, which is good, I guess. But then Saturday's main event was a waste. You couldn't. You might as well not had that match on Saturday's main event and could have just give extra 3 minutes to someone like the women's tag match. Give Jade more time. Could have gave more time to the women's tag match or Ethan Page versus Penta. They were cooking. Or you could have gave more time to anybody, but instead he gave us a 3 minute snooze. No, I wouldn't call. I don't want to call it a snooze fest because it's not a snooze fest. Like they did stuff, it was awesome, but it was a waste of time. It was a waste of my time. That's basically the whole essence of this thing. This was like a pay per view just to be a pay per view. It was like Joey just did this so that way they have talks over AEW, which is tonight. And I'm like, Well, you did a done stupid job because there's not really much topic here. You just basically had a great night of wrestling, basically. And even then, you can't say that because not everyone got time to shine. So, I don't know. And also, I gotta point this out because a lot of people are telling Soruka to stop doing the Soul Snatcher. Because ever since she got to the main roster, she's been just dogging them, having horrible Soul Snatchers. And I think she can do them, but the Becky Lynch one wasn't her fault, okay? Becky Lynch just didn't pull her in time, and Becky Lynch just pulled Jessica Carr too close. And that could have ended badly. But I also am with the people that say stop doing it because sooner or later that's not going to end well. And that's a very dangerous move. And that's not only a move you have to be 100% focused on, Soruka, your opponent. Because if your opponent's not there with you, you're cooked. You're donezo. So I like Javon Evans' cutter. You guys got to retire that at some point. Maybe like in 5 years, I guess. But Soruka, I don't know about you. Her Soul Snatcher is her whole thing, but like it's a dangerous, dangerous move. Next up, we have the Penta versus Ethan Page match, and let me tell you this: this should have been a fatal four way. Okay, this should have been Penta, Javon Evans, Ethan Page, and Rusev. That's what they were building up to. I still don't understand why they didn't do it. Why they just wanted to do Penta versus Ethan Page. Uh, it could have highlighted Penta's character more as being a fighter champion, but instead they wanted to go with just a one-on-one match. And granted, even though I said it should have been a fatal four-way match, this was a good match. Okay, Ethan Page is another person underrated in ring. Like people probably would just look at it and be like, "Oh, he's just like a Miz type." No, he is basically a Miz type character that can go in the ring. Even the Miz can go in the ring. People don't understand. Like wrestlers, some wrestlers aren't duds, okay? Wrestlers aren't duds. They can actually go in the ring, okay? I dare you to do a flip in the ring and then land perfectly and then run and do like a V trigger type move in 3 seconds. No one can do that but professional wrestlers because they're professionals. Uh, but this match, okay, I loved it. It was amazing. But the finish of the match was iffy for me because there was moments where I thought it was the end of the match, but then it wasn't. And I love that. I love when I can never tell when the end of the match is. I love when you do moments where like people are like, "Oh, we're going towards the end here," and then it's not the end, and you continue the match. You're just like, "Wow, so what is the end here?" Because you don't know. So they did that, but the ending after a great match was just Ethan Page taking off the turnbuckle, distracting the NPC ref who couldn't even put the turnbuckle back on, and as Ethan Page went and took off the other side of the right side turnbuckle, and Penta capitalized and then just hit a Mexican Destroyer and ended up picking up the victory. It was a great match. Again, I know people are like, this is the most pointless pay per view of all time, but I love me some wrestling, okay? But then I was like, AEW's tomorrow, and that show is gonna be like 7 hours long. Okay, that's already enough wrestling for the weekend. But instead, we had Saturday Night's main event. So, well, damn. But I digress. That was Penta versus Ethan Page. A lot of people thought it would have main evented. I thought it would have main evented, but honestly, the main event was better than this match. They should open the show. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Then we had the women's tag match, and boy oh boy, do I have some opinions on this because it I've noticed with tag matches, they all have this thing that is horrible. It's when the baby faces are like ramping up, going in, tagging in quickly, one, two, three, and trying to capitalize on everything. But instead, we end up just getting to the point where the heels just start beating up one person. I hate that with tag teams. When the heels just start beating up one person for like half of the match, and then that person does the hot tag, and then the person who got hot tagged in starts getting beat up, focusly on that one person. And then they focus on that new person. I hate those tag matches. If you look at the men's tag match next, it was the complete opposite. And I love those type of matches. I love the main event. The main event, I love those. I love tag matches where it's just nonstop action, and they keep tagging in, actually utilizing the tag team ability instead of tag teams just beating someone up slowly. Granted, it was the irresistible forces, so technically that's what they should be. But still, I don't know. And that's weird because I thought Paige and Brie would have lost the titles by now, but I guess not. Oh well. And now we're on to the main event, which is the Street Profits versus Division. And Division and Street Profits match, I already knew what it could have been a banger, and I thought they would have gone straight 2 hours. So I was like, oh, this is about to be like a 5 minute match, and then just interference. No, it wasn't. They did go overtime. They were given a decent amount of time, and it was amazing. It was a great match. I loved it. Uh, like I said, it wasn't a match that was slowly attacking one person. It was that for like 30 seconds, but then Montez would tag in Angelo, not Angelo would talking or tag in Montez, but then on the other side, the heel side would do that. Logan would tag in Theory, Theory would tag in Logan for help. Like I love those tag matches. Like those type of tag matches are the best. And I just really love tag team wrestling when it's actually really utilized. And that's crazy because the men's tag team division is kind of cooking on Monday Night Raw. I wouldn't say cooking, but like just this feud already is already more than enough as good enough for me for cooking because it was already so dead before. Uh, we had Braun Breaker try to interfere, but instead, as he's running full speed, Montez jump over Braun Breaker. And then Angelo Dawkins, my number one underrated wrestler. Like everyone always talks about how good Montez is. People forget how good Angelo Dawkins is, okay? Like I always preferred Angelo Dawkins as the type of person to be the singles competitor. He is my Jimmy, okay? I always said Jimmy's better than Jay and Angelo Dawkins is better than Montez, but yet everyone loves everyone loves Jay and everyone loves Montez, but I love the other two. And I'm like, do you guys not see what they contribute to the tag team division or to the tag team? Jimmy and Montez, or Jimmy and Angelo Dawkins, are literally essentially the same character. They're the main person. They're the older brother that talks and all that and keeps everything together. As Jay and Montez are the crash outs. So I don't know. I always preferred not the crash outs because I'm just like they'd be sucked as a singles competitor because they're loose cannons. And it showed with Jay. Jay being a singles competitor was a loose cannon. I thought he would have sucked as a singles competitor, but then Yeet came around, and I was like, this is not gonna work because Jimmy's the man who keeps Jay in check. So it would have been smarter for Jimmy to be the singles competitor, and Angelo Dawkins is the one that keeps Montez in check, basically. But we have this thing because crowd work, right? This doesn't work because Montez kept doing the "ho" and then having the whole crowd go "ho," but isn't that the same thing Braun Breaker does? Is it? Yeah, Braun Breaker and Montez is the same. I hope they do a "ho" off. You know what I'm saying? But that is Saturday night's main event. I rate it like literally a 7.2. I think no. Honestly, I'm gonna give it like a 6.8. Honestly, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't great. It was just mid. It was mid. It was mid of the mid. It was slightly good just because of the Penta and Ethan Page match and then the main event. And also because we got Braun Breaker getting launched to hell. You know what I'm saying? But that is Saturday's main event. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Do some good in life. Go hug someone. Tell them you love them. Like and subscribe. Bye.